I've come from one of the big four, so I can speak with some specificity there. They're big. Geez, they've got a lot of money to throw at things. Is there anyone from the big four here before I say too much? No hands going up? Excellent. And they do a terrible job of it, right? Their back-end legacy systems are atrocious. Their data's in a very poor state. Nothing's connected. It's really hard to get stuff done, and I shouldn't say that in an iTnews conference, should I? But really, moving to Teachers Mutual Bank where I am, and I know you guys see a similar sort of thing, I'm sure.
Don't drag me.
Where, I don't mind bagging them. They're doing a terrible job for their customers. We're faster, we're more agile. We don't have as much money to spend, but we spend that dollar so much more carefully. And sure, Westpac and CBA, those guys are putting out some really nice, edgy apps and capability, but we're right up there with them, and we're spending far less doing it. And what we're doing is putting the money we don't spend back into our members' products rather than giving it to a shareholder. Now, if you're a shareholder of Westpac, good luck to you. But if you're a banking customer, go over to the mutual sector, seriously. We are doing a much better job.
Well, we're not quite a bank, but we do compete against some. And I echo the thoughts. I think the advantage we have is we don't have the legacy background that they have. They have hundreds, if not thousands, of applications. They've got people that are entrenched in the way they do things. And they've got a huge bureaucracy around the way they have to run their business because of the size that they are. We're not. We're small and we're nimble, and now we have a completely redeveloped platform and running on completely redeveloped infrastructure. We have a flexibility and ability to change and respond to things that I'm sure they'd be very envious of. So I think there's a lot of opportunities. We do see ourselves more around that fintech sort of view of the world. We sort of see ourselves as having been an original fintech, even though we've probably been around longer than many of them. But I think that's the big advantage. They have a legacy environment that's very difficult for them to change. Yes, they have resources, but we have the ability to respond far more quickly and to exploit that far more better.
Yeah, look, obviously I agree with everything that's been said, but I'll give it a little bit of colour for me bank. We, halfway through transformation, we had a proposal put forward to put out a mobile banking app, and it was a great presentation of about 20 pages with some numbers and what have you in it, and we got to page 3 and just looked around to the team and said, can anyone here make a case to not have a mobile app for a bank that doesn't have a branch network? And of course the answer was no, and we approved it on the spot, and we implemented that mobile banking app in 16 weeks. So if you compare that to what the big banks are doing, they'd probably implement a much bigger solution, a much fancier solution, but they'd still be talking about a business case in 16 weeks as opposed to implementing it. I think for us, we see that the threats to banking aren't really coming from within banking, they're coming from outside of banking, and our kind of simple logic is that, if supermarkets can become banks, what's to stop the tech companies? And if we don't get our act together and they do become banks, we're all in deep trouble. Because the one thing that those guys have done, which is banks we haven't done a great job of doing, is nailing customer experience. So for us, now that we've got the technology in place, we're really trying to look at the bank from the outside in as the customer and redesign everything. And from a customer perspective, we've got this kind of saying that, banks have processes and customers have lives. And that's kind of the basic philosophy that we've got with all the design principles going forward.
Well, I was thinking actually probably catch our breath a little bit, after all that. But similarly for us, I think our industry, we're sort of more of a business-to-business provider. And so the issue for us is the cost of failure is really high. So we want to use the foundation that we've built to really drive improving the quality of the service that we give to our business customers, and equally to start to then use that as a platform for moving into other areas so as to create new revenue opportunities. It's probably fair to say, most of you are sitting here probably wondering how you're going to deal with the end of financial year and the changes that are happening to superannuation. We're impacted by that no less than you. And so I don't think the industry is going to stop changing. I think, and we're going to have to continue to evolve with that. And I think what we've done sets us up really well to be able to take advantage of the opportunities that provides.
For us, it's all about the member and that member experience. So the future for us is an omni-channel, digitally connected, all those lovely words and catchphrases left, right and centre. But we want our members to pick up their device and there'd be no brainer, right? Teachers Mutual Bank is the bank to bank with because it's a better experience, it's faster, it's connected, all that sort of stuff. So we're talking with a lot of fintechs, we're talking with a lot of those people who are on the edge and coming into the market so fast. The churn out there is amazing. We see them just come and go. But we're in a situation where 10 years ago, for those of you who've been around for a while, I have, you used to have to commit to something, right? And you'd buy a platform, you'd install it, and you've got to have 3 years out of it, and probably 5, maybe 10. These days we're looking at an environment where we can plug something in, test it for 6 months, and if we don't like it, we'll just unplug it and plug something else in, and it's that agile and that quick an environment. And that's just based on member feedback, right? If the members pick it up and we start getting click-throughs and everything's great, well, hell, we'll roll it out to more people. If it isn't working, well, toss it and we'll get another one. And that's a really nice environment to be in because it means we can always just pick the best of the breed, stick it in there and give our members the best experience.